What's good, YouTube? It's your boy MarshTheKid back with another video, man. Today we got live photos with disturbing backstories. Shout out to explore with us and let's dive in.
What's up, Ewu crew? The Raven is back again to share another interesting, shocking, or just strange, but very true story with you. Today, we're going to explore 3 stories of victims and the chilling photographs they last appeared in. In 2015, 18-year-old Cheyenne Rose Antoine and her best friend Brittany Gargle did something that many young girls do. Something they didn't think twice about. They took a selfie, a picture that would later come back to haunt one of them. The picture shows the friends posing together, Cheyenne grinning and holding the phone, and Brittany smirking with a hand on her hip. They posted the picture to Facebook and went on a night out. The story goes that the two ended up hopping between bars in downtown Saskatoon. At some point during the night, Brittany apparently met a man. Brittany and this man hit it off, getting along so well that she decided to leave with him. Sometime after Brittany and Cheyenne had parted ways, Cheyenne decided to use social media to get back in contact with her friend. She made a post on Facebook asking her where she had gone. "Where are you, Brittany?"
We're going to.
Bro, an ad already? Like, we just started watching the video. Bro, we are a minute and 10 seconds in. You already hit me with the ad?
"Haven't heard from you. Hope you make it home safe, and I need my phone. Love ya." She never received a reply. This is the case's first twist, but I could never have predicted the outcome. In the early hours of the next morning, a driver was going down the Dark Valley Road near the Saskatoon landfill on the southern outskirts of the city when he noticed something peculiar on the side of the road. Something about the shape turned his stomach, so he pulled his car over and got out. As he approached, he realized that it was the body of a young woman. She was lying on her back without any shoes. Worrying that the girl may be injured, the man checked for any signs of life. But horribly, he found she was cold to the touch and she wasn't breathing. When he saw her neck and the markings there, he realized that she was dead and had probably been strangled. The man, of course, called the police, and an investigation was launched to find the identity of the young woman. Lucky for the police, she had distinctive tattoos, and they released pictures to the public in a bid to match a name to the
That's the thing about my tattoos. I don't have like I guess played out or unoriginal tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gon' 9 times out of 10, if someone has a tattoo, they're gonna have a tattoo of like 2 roses on their forearm with a name in the middle. They're gonna have, I don't know, like just clouds and birds. What's another common tattoo? What's one more? I don't, would you consider like that lion on the arm like common? There's one more tattoo that I know is like really common. I just can't think of it. I'm trying to think of it. Like the little tattoos above the knees with your birth date. Yeah, those I hate. Like my tattoos, you feel me? Ain't nobody got these tats. You probably can't see them all, but nobody got these. You know, so it would be easy to distinct me if something ever happens.
Disturbing corpse. A woman came forward and said she was worried that the body belonged to her friend. It was determined to be Brittany Gargle. Investigators started to put the clues together to understand what happened to her. They utilized the girl's social media, and everything seemed to point to the mysterious man who Brittany had left the bar with. But that isn't what actually happened at all. No, the real story is much, much darker. Here's where it gets crazy. Investigators go to interview Cheyenne. After all, she was Brittany's best friend, and presumably one of the last people to see her alive. She worriedly tells the police, "Yeah, we got ready together that night and then went to the bar and then a house party. And then last we went to Colonial Pub and Grill. That's where Brittany asked some dude for a lighter and kinda invited him to tag along with us.
You went to a bar, didn't it?
But after that, I got dropped off at the Lighthouse. It's an assisted living shelter, because I wanted to visit my uncle, and I never saw Brittany again after that." Her story sounded credible enough, and Cheyenne was pretty forthcoming, even putting her uncle on the phone with police to corroborate her version of the events. Pretty much everything checked out. But still, the investigators did their due diligence and sought to tie up this loose end by double-checking Cheyenne's timeline with the surveillance footage taken at the pub she said they last visited. And that's when they saw something that made their blood run cold. Or rather, it's what they didn't see. They couldn't find any trace of either Brittany or Cheyenne at the establishment. Investigators were taken aback. Could the sweet teenage girl they'd just spoken with really know more than she was letting on? They checked the security footage from the Lighthouse shelter. Cheyenne and her uncle had never met up that night either. Suddenly, they started to doubt Cheyenne's story, and this suspicion marked the beginning of a 2-year investigation to untangle the complicated events of that dark night. It was the innocent selfie that the two took and posted only 6 hours.
Why did it take 2 years? You interviewed her, she gave you her side. You know, her side is her side. That's she stood on with her word, right? You went back, you checked security. All the footage literally is proof that her story did not add up. So why does it take us so long to bring her into custody as a suspect and go about it? Like, why is it taking years?
Before the discovery of Brittany's death that finally broke the case and was the key to unraveling the truth. When Brittany's body was discovered, something had been nearby, but at the time, no one thought too much about it. It was a black belt, a belt that was later believed to be the weapon used to strangle her. And that distinctive belt, braided and thick, was awfully familiar. That same belt was the one in the photo the girls had taken at the beginning of the night and was worn by Cheyenne. I took another look at the picture because at first, I couldn't remember the belt, but there it is, in the very corner of the photo. So, what actually happened that night? Well, unfortunately, it still doesn't totally make sense to this day. The friends spent the evening drinking, and for the most part they had a good time, but this didn't last. At some point during the night, the alcohol the two had been consuming stopped encouraging their laughter and instead fueled a heated argument. Brittany never met a man and left with him. The Facebook post Cheyenne had made to Brittany that night was an attempt to cover her tracks, and she used social media to create a web of lies that kept investigators looking for a different suspect. Ultimately, it was a tip to the police from a witness who claimed Cheyenne confessed to the unthinkable. Reportedly, she had shown up at the witness's house and hysterically confessed to how she had hurt her friend, hitting and strangling her. But what kind of argument could lead someone to kill their best friend? We don't know. Cheyenne says she doesn't remember strangling Brittany, but she doesn't dispute that she killed her. Cheyenne was initially charged with the second-degree murder of her best friend, Brittany Gargle. But at the trial in 2018, she pleaded guilty to a charge of manslaughter and was sentenced to 7 years behind bars. Look.
Bro. She killed her best friend. Murdered her. Tried to cover her up. And as a result, you give her 7 years. Let this be me. I'm gonna just say it. A young black male, let it be me. I'm getting 200 years without parole, even though I can't even live that long. I don't know, man. Like,
looking at the picture, I find it so eerie to see Brittany smiling happily after having just helped her friend decide to wear the weapon that would be used to kill her.
another ad. Make your money. I ain't that mad at it. I was mad at the first one though, because you hit it with me a minute in the video.
This last photo we are exploring is one that captures a moment of delight as an adventure is about to take place, but has now become a haunting reminder of a life cut too short. 30-year-old Swedish freelance journalist Kim Isabel Fredrika Wall had a promising career ahead of her, and by 2017 had already accomplished publishings in Time, The Guardian, and The New York Times, and had even won awards for her reports. One of Kim's upcoming career endeavors was to interview the Danish inventor and entrepreneur Peter Madsen. In early 2017, she had requested an interview with him, but Madsen didn't agree until August. As a bit of an eccentric, Madsen invited Kim to interview him alone on his homemade submarine UC-3 Nautilus.
Homemade
Kim
submarine?
agreed, but only planned to be there for 2 hours, as she and her boyfriend were throwing a going-away party to celebrate their planned move to Beijing later that month. On August 10th, Kim boarded the submarine, and this photo was taken. In it, Kim smiles, standing with her upper body above the submarine's tower hatch. At her side, looking over his shoulder, is Peter Madsen. Kim was apparently afraid to go into the submarine, according to her boyfriend. But despite her reservations, she went anyway, as she was fascinated by people dedicated to something. Kim's boyfriend became concerned when Kim never arrived at their party. He went in search and reported Kim as missing. But then Madsen was found. The morning after Kim had come to interview him, he was rescued from his submarine after it foundered. Despite being aboard a sinking submarine and nearly trapped within, Madsen was discovered to be calm and serious and unshaken by the frightening events. But there was no sign of Kim. Initially, Madsen claimed that he had dropped Kim off after her interview concluded, but as you will see, that wasn't the case at all. Something about the damage to the submarine was suspicious to the authorities, who saved Madsen, and they soon suspected that he had intentionally scuttled the ship. But why would Madsen destroy his own submarine? And where was Kim Wall? The ship was eventually raised up, and there was no evidence of Kim on board. Yet Madsen's calm demeanor and matter-of-fact recounting of the night's events was unnerving. When researching, I found quite a few different accounts of that night, and it turns out Madsen gave multiple different stories, none of which added up. This is probably why he came under suspicion in the first place, along with the fact that the submarine never docked after Kim boarded. So no matter what he said, nothing could explain how Kim could be safe if the submarine never came back to land until after it had foundered. Because of this, Madsen was swiftly arrested after his rescue. Initially, he was charged with negligent manslaughter, as police suspected Kim's fate had been an unfortunate accident. And at first, Madsen changed his story again to match this assumption. But soon more evidence washed ashore. Gruesome and horrifying evidence.
So here's the thing about y'all criminals, man. Y'all be thinking you outsmarting the justice system. You're not. They can be dumb at times, let's be real. You feel me? So a lot of times they handle things completely wrong. But a lot of times they handle things right and quick, like they're on it. You feel me? And I feel like y'all be trying to lie and do things like you do illegal things, and you know you're doing illegal things, and then you expect not to get caught. But then if you were to get caught, you expect them to just believe anything you say. Like, bro, we're all people at the end of the day. They think just like you and I do. Well, most people do, except for the weird ones. Like they've been there, they've seen that, they've done that. Like they're trained professionals that get paid a lot, 6 figures a year. You think, they don't know what they're doing? Like, come on now.
11 days after Kim's disappearance, a cyclist was enjoying a bike ride along a beach in the southwest of Amar. The wind was whipping up off the water, but the sea breeze was pleasant. Among the rocky shore, the cyclist noticed something peculiar, and they slowed down, coming to a full stop near the misshapen lump that they just couldn't quite identify. Nearing it, the cyclist realized, with horror and the knowledge that they would never be able to forget what they were seeing, that it was part of a woman's body. Her torso beheaded and without limbs, and bearing the marks of stab wounds congregated around the groin. Body parts just kept washing up on the shore. And at first, no one was sure who the body belonged to. In order to end the horror of a beach laden with body parts, cadaver dogs and police divers were brought in. They found Kim Wall's head in a plastic bag.
That's crazy,
Madsen
man.
maintained that Kim's death had been an accident, though he soon admitted that he had been the one to dismember and dispose of her body in the sea.
This is ridiculous. I can't finish. Like, comment, subscribe. All links in the description. Mods and Clippers DM. I'm Marshall. We out.
Listen, if you're not tapped into Marsh the Kid, then I don't know what you're doing, man.